Rainproof in 1 hour. I probably got the wrong one. Yeah, we're using it anyway. Sorry, folks. Sorry, but I've got to get it done. Come on. Well, you know what I got to do? I have to get the battery for it. You know, the biggest fear is this doesn't work. So I think I can do 2 gallons. Thing is, the more I put in, the hotter it's going to be to put on. At least it's only in the low 60s, so I won't kill myself by overheating. Gosh, there's so much out here to be done. I'm looking, all the shrubs are so overgrown. I've got trees growing in places that I don't have trees. All right, it does work. Okay. This thing is so heavy. That goes here. Then I sit here. This goes here. This goes here. Isn't this a beautiful look for me? All right. Oh, you vey. And I'm up. Okay. What I want to do is hit the front yard first. So let's take a walk. Are we ready? I think so. This is what I really want to take care of the most. Front yard. This gets away from me all the time. All right, let's go see what we've got in the back. Okay, this is where I need some help. I don't know what to do out here. It's right on the corner where the neighbors are, so I'm never out there because that's where they always are. But it's got poison oak, poison ivy. It's a mess. I don't want grass, and I don't know what to do. But I don't know what to do with it. I'm done. Off it goes. Take the battery out. I only used about a gallon. Yeah, maybe a gallon and a half so far. Next, lawnmower. I have to go get the battery for this. I've got to change into a lighter shirt because I'm warm. I've always had 2 batteries for the lawnmower. One died this year and they're like 180 bucks, I think. So I'm gonna try to do it with just one. I don't think the battery will last for the whole thing, which means I try to race. Yeah, racing is off the table today, but let's go mow the lawn. It's one patch. Oh my God. I have a 2-inch patch that didn't get done. Okay. Lawn's done. Except for that 2-inch strip that I just showed you. I'm going to cough and huff and puff for a couple minutes. 2 good jobs done. The weeds should die by the end of the day. Hopefully I don't. And the lawn is done. Now, I still need to trim all the hedges way back because of all the new growth. It rained torrents last night, so I'm not sure that they'll be all dried out. If I don't do it today, I'm hoping that I can psych myself up to do it tomorrow.
but it's a gorgeous day out. I was listening. I'm sorry, I'm a sweaty mess. Oh, take me as I am. I was listening to a couple of YouTubers in my age group this morning, and I really enjoy listening to them. But they're so calm. And they really are calm and zen. And the houses are so nicely decorated. I know everybody's different, and obviously I'm very different because I see clutter when I see that. They are beautiful, and I would love to watch them, but stuff everywhere, beautiful stuff. And I'm still doing the same as I do in a furniture catalog, or if I'm looking at an ad, that would be so pretty. And then I start mentally taking things out, and by the time I'm done, it's like a couch and a rug, and barely a rug sometimes because I like bare floors. I'm just not mellow. And I don't think I'm ever going to be. I actually try. And I want to hear from some of you who were not mellow and have mellowed out over the ages. Over the ages? I want to hear from some of you who were not mellow, but did mellow out as you got older, and some of you who still haven't been able to get there. I don't think I'm going to get there. But I love listening to them, and it gives me something to aspire to. Somebody asked me on our channel a couple of weeks ago if I date. And I immediately had an anxiety attack. No. I'll tell you some stories. When Steve and I got divorced, my staff thought they should fix me up with somebody. There was no way in heavens that I was ready for it, thinking about it, wanted it. But they went on a site that was not Match or any of those, and did this 99, and I remember 99 questionnaire, and filled it out for me. And I'm sitting there laughing at them. They did fill it out like I would. They were brutally honest. But then, after 99 questions, it said it would give you 15 guaranteed matches of people in your income bracket with, similar interests. I pressed yes. Now, yes came with a $2,400 price tag. I should bill them for that. I did get matches. I don't know that I got 15 of them. The very first one was a couple months after the divorce. Now, in hindsight, that was just stupid. Put it in the list of how many stupid things I've done over the years. He was a great guy. We went out to eat, which I don't recommend. I don't like that. I don't relax over a meal. I would relax with a cup of coffee, and I learned from that and only did coffee dates from then on. He talked about his life. He had been divorced for quite a while. He had a business. He had season tickets to every team because he took his clients out to the games. Talked about doing that. Talked about that he had a big house with a butler, and he left in the divorce and she kept the butler. I sat there having such anxiety of, oh my God, that's not a life that I could ever live up to. First of all, the insecurities came out. But second of all, is it a life I want? Yeah, no. So it was a very nice date, very nice guy. We both knew that this was not a match. Maybe today, maybe I've mellowed out enough of that, but I don't think so. It's not my idea of fun to go spend, 3 hours sitting in the sun at a baseball game or sitting in the cold at a football game. And I do like sports, but I'd rather watch them from the comfort of my living room. The other ones were so unmemorable from that time. Fast forward, 4 or 5 years or more, I joined Match.com and Plenty of Fish. Yeah. I'll try to be open-minded. One of the gentlemen that wanted to go out with me had private pictures of him in a woman's dress and full makeup, and he was prettier than I was, and it wasn't because he was a drag queen. I could handle that if that was for the stage. So that was a no. a bunch of guys who just, it's awful out there. I always say they're either looking for their mother or they're looking for sex. You know, I'm not going to give you either, guys. One of the gentlemen I met pulled up in his pickup truck. Now, I have an affinity for pickup trucks. I like hard-working tradesmen, so that's fine. But in his work clothes and his work shoes, and he was very, very unkempt. And I thought, first time meeting you, it would have been nice if you changed. That's fine. We sat outside and had coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts. And he talked, I'll bet you for an hour and a half, about himself. Never asked my name. Never asked anything about me. He was very intent on making a good impression on me. But his impression was how he had a grandson that was 4 and he loves to spend time with him, but how he thinks it's so funny that his daughter doesn't know that he doesn't make his grandson sit in the car seat or have a seatbelt on when they're alone together. And isn't that funny? He's raising a real boy. I almost lost my mind. I sat there very politely and listened to him. And when I said, you know, it's been an hour and a half, I think we got to call it, he stood up and kissed me on the cheek and said, we are going to be so good together. I'll call you. And I thought, you don't know my name. I sat and listened. You need somebody to listen to you. No. So that was one. Had one from a gentleman who we're going to meet for coffee in a place about 20 minutes from him. And I'm going to meet him, and he called me to say he didn't think he was going to make it because he was stuck on the bridge, which was 2 minutes from where we were meeting. And I said, you're about 2 minutes from where we're going to meet. Oh, I didn't know that. I said, I thought you were from here. Yes, I am. I'll tell you when I get there. So we walk in and sit down, and he told me that he wasn't familiar with the area because he had just gotten out of prison. All right, I'm in for this. This is fine. You know, what did you do? It wasn't anything. He didn't kill anybody. Had no money at all. Was living in temporary housing. I got a cup of soup. He got mozzarella sticks at the time, and the bill, and I'll never forget, it was $4.08, and he asked if we could split it. Now, normally I do split things, but I was like, yeah, no, this is not, I can't even be your friend, which I would be fine with being friends. And I told him that. If you ever want to get together and just talk, I'll buy you a cup of coffee, I think. And the girls still laugh at this one. I left from the salon, and I always did tell somebody where I was, usually the girls at the salon, so they knew. And I would call or go back to the salon after the coffee date so that they knew I was back. I'm not stupid. For those of you who are going, oh my God, no. This one was right down the street from the salon. We met. We're sitting there talking, and I guess it's just because I want to impress you. He's a lawyer from Providence, and he's a big-time lawyer, and he's got money, and he has a boat in Newport, and he has this house and condo, and, you know, I just don't. It doesn't do it for me. I would love the fact that you have a lot of money so that I don't have to worry, but you're not going to take care of me anyway, and it doesn't impress me. And it's not going to be keep up with the Joneses. So I'm listening politely, asking questions. He goes to Newport on the weekend and sits in the harbor on his yacht and reads the newspaper front to back. Good for you. You know, not do you like sailing? Do you like, no. Didn't ask me too much, a little bit. Then, you know, we talk about divorce. You always want to know. Well, his wife divorced him because they slept with their maid. But she did take him back and forgive him. And that was a really good thing, and he was happy about that. But then he slipped again with the same maid. What? At one point he said to me, how soon into a relationship would you be willing to move in with me? And I looked at him and honestly said, well, I didn't realize that you were going to ask me that, so I didn't bring the U-Haul tonight. And he got very angry, and he said, quoting, you're like a wild stallion wrapped up in chains, and you'll never be tamed. That was the nicest compliment I ever got. He was a no. I did meet one gentleman who was very nice. We went for a walk at a local bird sanctuary. Nice guy. As we're walking, there'd be a log, and he'd walk around it instead of step over it. And he'd say, you might be careful, you could trip. And I'm thinking, I'm not 120, and I can do this. I did that the entire time. And it wasn't to be thoughtful, although it was very thoughtful. It was because he was so cautious. And again, I thought, yeah, no, I have to throw caution to the wind sometimes. If you say you want to go bungee jumping, I would probably say yes. Just because I'm afraid, and so I do it. The last one, I think when I swore off doing this anymore, was probably only 4 or 5 years ago. It was interesting because he gave me a run for my money. He was very dry wit, which I love, but he was a little bit combative. Red flag. And he kept saying, well, I guess we won't get together. And I said, okay, why? And he'd say, because you don't seem to like this. And okay, you're right. And we probably won't meet. Okay, I was just fine. When he left, he goes, so I guess you'll wait for me to call you? And I went, well, I won't be waiting, but if you'd like to call me, we'll see. He walked me to my car. He told me I didn't park very well. He said, thank you for the valet advice. And I went to say goodbye, shake his hand, and he said, oh, no, I get a kiss on the lips. Well, that took me back to my abusive childhood. I could feel my heart race, and I did kiss him back. And I thought, you are not healthy enough for a relationship, Margaret, because you just got intimidated. And that's when I closed the book on trying to date. I like being alone. I like moving at my own pace. I like being my ego-centric self. I love people coming over to visit. I love, when somebody stops for a cup of coffee. After so many hours in somebody's presence, I need my peace and quiet. Now, it could be from my background. It could be from having the business where I've always been on, 15 hours a day. But I've found at this stage, I'm not good company. That being said, once the salon is gone, once I'm no longer working, well, maybe I'll get lonely. I can't imagine it, but maybe I'll get lonely. And I'll see then. 69, been there, done that, have the t-shirt. I think I'm just so appreciative to be happy in my own skin that I've reached the contentment part of my life. Unless I win the lottery, that would be good. It's truly strange, isn't it? For us men and women to be at this point in our lives where the wisdom is kicking in a little bit and you can see the world around you for what it really is. In many ways, this is such a wonderful time of life. I don't like the body and mind slowing down a little, but I was running at high octane all the time, so for me it's probably a healthy thing. I love the fact that I look at the sky and see how beautiful it is, and I look at the plants and think how awesome they are. Then I look at the shrubs and realize they need to be trimmed. There's the yin and the yang. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for stopping by, visiting for a little bit. Come back with some stories. I love to hear them too, Take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks for visiting.